Two. Yeah, we're good. That's pretty funny that it just automatically just took me off. But whatever, we're back. Yeah, good one today. I was a week early on my last stream, which was probably time to take profit, and then we got this little rip higher. But you know, nobody's perfect. The problem with high time frame trading is it's kind of hard to be exact, but you know, you get the big ones right. So yeah, let's talk here. Goes right where it shouldn't stop. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's actually not bad. It's not bad. Look at the monthly. It's pretty strong. Pretty strong. Off the rip to get down here and just. If you bought at any point from January of 23 to November, you're in profit, which is nice. We need that. We need that in our lives. But let's talk a little more tactically. I'll make this a little smaller. So if you guys remember, whenever I would talk about, this is probably more relevant in crypto than anything else, but whenever you see shit flip top side of channels, that's going parabolic, or like it's a highly momentum based move, right? So highly momentum based move. We got here, cap, boom, breakout again, and now it's kind of coming back. Do I expect this to hold the top side of the channel? Boy, if it does, that would be bananas, because it is an insane show of strength if it does. The other way that you can look at this, and it's not going to be something that you guys are going to enjoy, is remember the story as old as time. if you get a variation on one side and it fails to hold the channel, you're probably going to see a variation or a deviation on the other side. So if you get one side to break out and you cannot sustain it, when you surrender back in, you're almost certainly going to go test the other side of the range if it was valid, right? I'd say usually my channels are valid. Usually I'm getting those right, but not necessarily. If you think about it though, now, if you think about it from what we have been talking about, if this is a deviation, a variance outside of the zone, then this drift downward and variation would be right near this R flip to S support that I've wanted us to test for a while. So that's not a horrible thing. I would just say that the thing that you should be looking at right now is, can we hold the top side of this channel? If we hold the top side of this channel, we'll just keep balling. We ball higher. Maybe even go up and test the COVID line. This is the COVID breakout line. Okay. So if we can hold this, maybe you see a top side test. I don't know. But if you don't, watch out. It's going to get really, really difficult. It's going to get difficult. We'll take that off because it's no longer relevant. You get this breakout. It's not the most important thing. Someone in chat yesterday asked me, like, now that we broke out higher, do you still expect it to correct as far? And there's, can we hold the channel? 1, do you just wick down to 38? 2, and if you can't hold 38, where does it go? 32 and under. 32 and under. That's where I expect it to go. It's the most logical place for it to go. And it would be the most pain, right? People are FOMOing into this. Like, this is just all emotional. Like, people are afraid they're going to miss the rip on on BlackRock, on the ETF thing. So they pre-buy it. And then you see people unloading here, right? So they unload, comes back down. The other thing, and we'll get into it, is macro is very much up against resistance, right? This thing was absolute gold for a long time. Absolute gold. And it finally failed, right? Or the resistance finally gave out, which is great. So what we wanted was this buy, the 7.26 rebuy, which I think would be gold plated if it ever came back down here again, because it would still be a higher low. When we're talking about the time frames that we are talking about, a breakout of resistance, a new high, and a higher low being here is not like horrible. It's kind of what you want for a sustained move, right? It's still the place where I would deploy as much capital as anything if we get this opportunity. If we get this opportunity. I don't know that we will, but I don't mind it. Let's talk about this and let's talk about why. This is right into resistance from, yeah, you like that hat? From December of 21 to January of 22. We're into that version mid area that I've talked about a lot, where whenever you come back and check a pivot for the first time, you're going to reject. It's what's happening right now. It's a little underside. We're rejecting it right now. Yeah, isn't it funny too? Because there's green in the hat. It's transparent. It's pretty funny. But like we talked about, the forecast that I had was I think we would finish the year near all-time highs. Look where we are. We're 19 days from the end of the year, and we're right near all-time highs. Dano, it's good. So we're right near all-time highs. There actually is not deviation or a div on the S&P. I think somebody mentioned there was a div on this ratio, which I've never really played specifically, but That's true. This got a little bit too close to the 50-day moving average for my liking, and this is a little too like spread out. But theoretically, yeah, you could see a pullback versus the S&P here, and it's not a deviation on the daily for Bitcoin, which is good, which is stronger. But you see this move in to all-time highs effectively, and is it going to reject or not? I think it's a pretty crucial area. I think that getting up into this area here, that 4,700 area, is not just like something that people forget about. So I think there's a decent chance you will see a pullback, right? Oh my God, my shoulder's killing me. So end of the year, Santa rally's coming. Santa rally happens right before, Christmas. That would be through next Friday, because Christmas is a Monday. It's not a trading day. So through next Friday, you get the Santa rally, and then probably a pullback. So for those of you who are out here just absolutely shitcoining right now, have a plan. I know a lot of you are doing it. Somebody told me that someone added liquidity to Apex, if you remember that from back in the day. And that's funny. So everything has its time. NQ looks good though. I mean, this is probably the most bullish thing we have, right? We got the cup with handle and the breakout on a fucking weekly on the QQQ. It's about as bullish as can be, but it is still near highs, right? It's not that this won't be resistance. It will. So it just means that you'd pause, hopefully grind sideways, and hold this area on the NQ. I see a lot of people in the Discord, also in Telegram, talking about Cosmos, which means the end is near. Anytime Cosmos is ripping, then you can almost certainly expect to pull back in the market, because it's the last thing to move. I don't know if that's actually true anymore. However, TIA has brought a lot of money into the ecosystem, which is nice. Pump my bags, buy my bags. So we'll see. This is Ethereum, which has been absolute shit. And by the way, like, it had that nice little run. It had that nice run. And you're like, all right, sweet. Did it do anything? Like, did it change anything? Did it change anything structurally? And my God, no, not at all. Not even a little bit. Watch. All right. So this is, it's still lagging. This is important. I'm going to move this closer to my Bitcoin chart, and I'm going to make it the same, like roughly look the same. All right, I gotta change it. So this line, this 37.9, the equivalent is 25.30. Okay. It's still lagging tremendously. So it did play catch up a little bit. It played catch up a little bit, which is great. It's what we want. We want it to play catch up. But look at ETHBTC. Guys, that is a by the book flip down. Ethereum is going to have a very tough go. This is not good. Like, sell all your Ethereum. It's going to underperform. Now, I say that. What's up, Highlander? Good to see you, brother. I say that being a huge fan of Ethereum. I'm just saying, technically speaking, on a weekly chart, it broke the level down, tried to reclaim it, and each time for 4 weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, for 4 straight weeks, people sold the flip down. People sold the flip down. Like, very, very bearish. Very bearish against Bitcoin. Now, does that mean it won't still number go up versus USD? Yeah, I can just hold this level and just like maybe lose a little bit. But if you're saying to me, what should you hold, at least when it's time to buy again, if you're not hedging right now? Oh, look at Highlander. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. When we look at when there's time to buy again, right? If I think there's a pullback coming, right? We already went from 44 to 41, so obviously. But if the pullback's coming, when it's time to buy again, if you move to cash, buy Bitcoin. I don't see a reason to own Ethereum right now. Now, you give me 0.04 Ethereum, ETH BTC, and you see a reaction, I will sell my car. I won't. Got a Model X. It's nasty. It's so sick. But I would sell everything that I could easily sell and load it into Ethereum at that time. That time is not right now. Like, anytime you look and you see shit like this. Where is he, bastard? Look at this run. Dude, everything is destroying Ethereum. Everything is destroying Ethereum. I need to get Carlos on again and go, so, like, what is the bull scenario for Ethereum right now? I'm sure he has one. And, like, I know I could even say it. Well, that's where the most liquidity is. So ultimately, it's where people shall return, which is not untrue. In fact, I agree with that. However, don't own it now, man. It's fucking stupid. It's real dumb. Like, this is a by the book flip down, a rolling over H pattern. Whoop. H on a weekly. Go look up H pattern. Not good. Okay, that's just a down, flip down. I'll see ya. And, like, there's no spot. This is that area where, like I said before, you really need people to step in. Why the fuck is my indicator so big? That's where I said before, like, you'd really want people to step in and defend this void, but it does not look like anyone is defending the area. And there's no one home. I mean, look, going back to this is August of 2018. The last time this, I mean, really, you could say it's never been traded a lot. I mean, maybe in 2017, but no way, dude. This is an absolute void on ETH BTC. And if we don't pull it out soon, we're going to 0.04. I think that's pretty clear. Look at this fucking beauty. You know? Oh my God. I mean, just like the easiest buys ever. Oh, rip, it went to 112, not worth buying. Oh, give you another chance at 70, and now it goes to 140. Literally a double. A double since November started. It doubled. As coin goes, so goes Bitcoin, or really the opposite way. So if you fancy the move is on for Bitcoin, then, you know, you want to play some standard market shit. If you get another area to buy, which would be like 100, if it gets down near 100 again, throw some long-term options out there. Buy that 2 year in the future $400 option. Very possible. Very possible. But it's nice to see it came off the mat, made some new highs, got out of this bullshit. That was not good. And it's making its way higher. I think it has room all the way to 160. Everybody's favorite, Solana. Solana is where we've decided to make Golfin, which is pretty cool. Just because of the amount of transactions for user data, it was the only way we could do it. So we're building it on Solana, which is nice. We just brought on like a huge advisor that's very closely connected to the Solana team. So we're pretty pumped. And I think it's going to be enormous. I think it's going to be a game changer. So stay tuned on that. But Solana wicked up. Did you see where it wicked up to? Like, just right to my fucking line, man. This whole time. At any point you could have bought and really not felt the heat. It's been pretty impressive, if I'm honest, that like through all of this, it just has kind of been grinding higher. So I really like where Solana is. I really think that we are going to have Solana season for a long time. And I know the NFTs have already kind of popped off. They've already done their thing where people are just going nuts. Tensorians are like 1,000 sold. Not really, but they're a lot. So I think that you're going to see this kind of fill out. And I don't think it's outside the realm of the possibility that you get this break above 78 and we form a higher low back into this range. And this ends up being one massive deviation that shows or sees Solana heading back to, you know, low triple figures. It's just too good. And the nice thing is, like, because so many people fled Solana, they've really tightened up the tech, where we won't see the downtimes and the shit that we saw before. So I'm pretty jazzed about that. Arbitrum had a nice run. Linketh. Never good when Link is losing to Ethereum and Ethereum is losing to everybody else, but it is just flagging, okay? It is just flagging. Still have my Link position. I will still continue to have my Link position, but I would look at this 0.05 area against Ethereum as the place to go. We got right up against 16.8 as we thought we would, and we hit resistance, and that's okay. If you get an opportunity for a Link again under 13, buy it. Assuming the market isn't falling to shit. Like every time I say that, if there's like a Luna collapse or an FTX collapse or some crazy shit going on, when I say this area would be a good area to buy, if something like that's going on, obviously don't. You got to make that decision. You got to make that decision. But yeah, you don't move sideways from May of 22 to October of 23 for a 2x. You just don't. It might take a little while, but that move is certainly not done. Look at this. I think somebody pointed this out to me. This is a monthly bull div on TLT. The thing about monthly signals is that shit can take forever. But remember, the target on this is 130. That would be crazy. If you see the 20-year treasury bond go up 30%. That would have massive implications long term. Look at gold, dude. Gold does not know how to not step on its own dick. Look at this thing. Just every time it tries, it got to 2150. Braxton. I want Adam and Juno pumping to be a good thing, but I know it's not. It's 100% right, man. Anytime, look, I have it up here. Look at this. It's a nice move, man. Like, I don't know what caused this. I mean, Highlander's in here. Highlander, why did you guys rip today? You know, was there some announcement today? Because like someone thought bigly about loading up. I don't know why, but that's 40% a day. IBC, just in general. BlackRock bought Juno. $713,000 in liquidity. They would buy all of it. Yeah, it's a nice run, dude. I mean, this is the biggest volume day since Halloween. So that's good. Yeah, I mean, look. You're saying that the IBC bridging is doing more than ETH bridges? Is that what you're saying? Like people are just, so you're saying people are just like looking into the ecosystem and finding Juno? Is that what you're saying? There wasn't like a catalyst that caused it to jump. Look at this bastard. He just sold $3 worth of Juno. You prick. $200. Come on. This guy knows. $2,000. Let's go. See how much he's bought. Holy shit. You know what this guy's doing? Look at this fucking. Well, I mean, clearly he's arbitraging, but it's like a fucking Christmas tree. Look at this guy. Highlander just dipped this for me. Yeah, that's fair. Okay. That's fair. But Highlander. You and I both know that usually whenever Cosmos pumps, it's like the near-term end. IBC is beating all ETH bridges by quite a bit. Check out the live numbers for IBC. Yeah, it's pretty good, man. I do love Map Stones. This shit is like nice. It's so pretty. Like, this was probably the coolest thing that helped me conceptualize what was going on with Cosmos initially. Like, the first time this came up, you're like, oh, who's connected to Juno? Look at that. Fucking Celestia. I will never stop being angry. Oh, yeah, for sure. I will never stop being angry that I didn't claim Celestia. Soul Deepak. Really? Not good. You saying we can go arbitrage right now? Or is there a bigger issue? To your point, though, been speaking to Juno folks, I reckon we need to stay away from the Cosmos drama and shit throwing and be our own thing. Like Injective and DYDX do, they do it great. Couldn't agree more. I mean, it's literally the worst thing you can possibly do. Get involved. Holy shit, it gave me a heads up ad break in 4 minutes and 50 seconds. I can snooze it. I snoozed it. Snoozed it for 5 minutes. But yeah, this is pretty nifty. It annoys me that Juno's on the outside of the main ring now. That pisses me off. But, you know, we'll get there. I mean, that was kind of the, so to Highlander's point, that was kind of the idea behind Cosmos to begin with, right? Yeah. But here's the thing. The ETF news will send it. It will. But then it'll dump. And until people are able to just like actually put money from their 401k into it, it's just going to be kind of hanging out in no man's land. And then like think about the news events that are going to happen every time it's like, all right, let's look at the volume on the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF, and like it'll be reported on weekly. How much money came into it this week, guys? Oh, all right. You know, like it's going to be a big deal. And like if you think that people like the value proposition, yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. You know why? Because haters gonna hate, man. Haters gonna hate. The thing is, like, people aren't gonna be dipping in and out of Bitcoin through their 401k. You know what I mean? They're just not. They're gonna be holders. Whenever I talk to people who have a lot of money, and I do quite a bit, like non-crypto people, because I belong to a country club and I can talk to guys that have like fuck you money. They're always like, oh, you're the crypto guy, which is always funny. And I'm like, look, you can talk shit about crypto, you can not. I mean, look at the inflation rate. You know, if you think that the government is going to handle inflation appropriately, then yeah, fuck Bitcoin. But if not, put 1% of your net worth into Bitcoin. 1%. If it ends up being the right move, it's going to pay for the other 99%. And that usually rings a bell. People are like, yeah, kind of makes sense. Like, even if it was just that, guys, it's just infinite number up. So I think that if I were you, the way that I would think about this right now is like, Bitcoin has kind of like proven itself. The last hurdle for Bitcoin really is like quantum computing, being able to withstand quantum computing. And like, you know, you can talk about that shit all day if you want, but that's so far in the future. The majority of supply is going to be out, and like whether or not it becomes a real threat, who knows? And like, you have the whole Bitcoin society that wants to future-proof this shit anyway. But the way that I would think about this is a Bitcoin has passed like every single hurdle it's needed to pass. And right now it sits at $41,245. I would think of it as like all you need to do between now and like so I'm in my late 30s, right? If you're from late 30s to 20, and even a little bit older, because I know I'm not the oldest cat here. Dale, what's up, my guy? All you need to do is just not fuck up. You know what I mean, though? Like, all you have to do, this is the key to riches, like in crypto. What you need to do is not be a dumbass. I'm looking at the camera. Just don't fuck this up, okay? Don't go all in on fucking Joe Biden's Dick Inu or whatever. Like, you know, just buy good shit. Don't use leverage. Just don't fuck this up. Like, this probably, yeah, thank you. This probably is going to be one of your last chances, because once the auto bid machine comes in from the ETFs, it's going to be hard to get to dips, right? It's going to be really hard. So just do not fuck this up. You don't need to make it rich overnight. What you need to do is acquire and stack. As dumb as that is, I mean, I sound like BAP right now, where it's like just stacking stats, baby. Like, that's kind of the move now. You want to play the AVAX season? You should go follow Dale. Dale's AVAX wizard. Okay. You want to play around in Sol? Go talk with Kaz, dude. Kaz is crushing it in Sol. You want to trade high caps for 10, 20%? I'm your guy, right? Like the majors, I'll help you with that. Do not go all in on dumb shit. You go all in on dumb shit and get cracked. Right as Bitcoin's about to take off from 40,000 to 100,000 to 150,000 to 200,000, it's going to happen. Right? It's going to happen. So just like, you know, I forget the line, but I've said it before. And the problem with like the Western dream, or the American dream, if you will, is like, if you haven't made it yet, people firmly believe that they will. Like, it's not like, well, maybe I'll get rich one day. It's just like, when will I get rich? The problem is, it's like people who feel like they're temporarily displaced millionaires, which in crypto, that's true if you don't fuck it up. But sometimes there's that thing in the back of your head that starts chatting at you like, oh, dude, fucking Shrap token on AVAX. If I'd have just levered everything into it at 10 cents, it got to 40 cents. That's a 4x. Yeah, but that's really stupid. Or Fufu. If you had just laid it all into Fufu when it was 600 and went to 6,000, you know, like, that's a 10x. Yes, you could have done that. It also could have rugged and went to zero. So have some form of risk management and just don't be a dumbass, right? Like, pretty easy. Good shit. You know? Guys? This is going to go insane. I'll look in 1 second. You know, this isn't I fucking hate this. I really do. I'm not a fan of logarithmic charts, but since people look at it, I'll look at it, you know? So, like, it is not hard for me to envision low six-figure Bitcoin in, like, the relatively near future. It's not. Yo. Yeah, it's not bad. Huh. It's not bad. It is good to see Cosmos come off the mat, but, you know, it's usually the Deathstroke Highlander. I know you know this. Oh, we went to zero. Yo. Matic, no. Gold sucks. Tesla, SPX, we know that. Target, all right. CZ resigns, gets hit with, you know, billions in fines and shit, avoids jail time. We're down at support and you're fading it. Oh. You know, I never thought that the guy that I would like the most of, like, all the big time crypto figureheads would be fucking CZ. Curves in the death spiral to zero. Yeah. I mean, just fuck you. I was so mad on these days when it was like $2. I was so mad that I didn't get my airdrop. that I was like, fuck that. It's dead to me. So that is a good example of being poor. It's a poor mentality. Don't be like me. I mean, it's just literally up fucking only, man. Crazy. Very crazy. All right. What do you guys want to look at? Because I can do a little more, and then I'm going to get out of here. But I just want to give an update. Like I said, for those of you that joined late, if we can hold this channel, the high side channel, extremely bullish, number go up a lot higher. Okay. All right. Keep listing them off. I'll go through them. If it doesn't, first landing spot 38. Next landing spot after that down here, sub 32. When you see a variance to the high side, if it surrenders itself back into the zone, pretty good odds you're gonna see a deviation to the bottom side. Okay, that is your macro update. The only thing that you need to know. Wow, yeah, it's actually been really strong. I mean, just held it. Zone. Yeah. So if you, I don't know if fetch is the move, but if you fancy fetch and we get that pullback, you can see I already drove it on. I already dropped it on here. Rock next. All right. Fucking, this is how I know it's back to being good times again, because I'm getting like 19 requests in the bear market. People are like, oh, let's look at Link and Solana. All right. Thanks. See you in a week. We have IR. I don't know what you mean by IR. Yeah, so if you want to play FET, like again, not financial advice. I don't know the FI on it, the FA on it at all. 45 cents. If it holds 45 cents, buy. Oh, interest rate tomorrow. Yeah, I even stopped caring. I mean, I know that I saw inflation today was really good. Can I do that here? Ah, you fucker. Kakinu? Are you kidding me right now with this Dale? Kakinu. You had me put up. I mean, there's 35 million, so I guess there's that. Got me. Yeah, you sure did. All right, so Dale no longer gets to request things. Rock. One of my buddies shilled me Grok on November 4th. He was like, you got to get in. Makes sense. Tozy, FTM, what's up? First time chatter, long time caller. No, first time caller, long time listener. You guys don't even fucking listen to over the air radios anymore. Yeah, Grok's fine. So here's the thing about Grok. I was thinking about this the other day. It's literally just my speculating and based on like what I know has happened of late. Every radio show, man. Every radio show. Dude, I listened to so much radio when I was in sales when I first got out of college. I was a big Jim Rome guy. I actually would call into Jim Rome. Jared in Kalamazoo. You can look it up. You can hear some of my calls. And like he'd always make fun of like local sports talk shows or just like talk shows in general on the radio where people would be like, hey, Jared, good to hear from you. This is Dale, first time caller, long time listener. Oh, well, thanks, man. Yeah. We'll look at. I already looked at Juno. So anyway, it was just every single one of them. Everybody else say that, and like Ron would make fun of people like, yeah, I don't care how long you've been listening, or that it's your first call. Just have something to say. All right, I'll go to Juno in a second. So the thing about Grok is every time he announces something about Grok, it's gonna pump, right? Like it had its pump, came back down. He said some more shit about it, it pumped again. I feel like it's kind of the same situation. So you can play that if you want. Since we got a first-time commenter, I'm going to go to his next. First-time commenter, long-time listener. Phantom. Is Andre back? Let me ask that. Is Andre back? Does anyone know? Because when I look at, you know what I see here? I see this going lower. And that's obviously the head. So what you would really want to have happen is this would be a right shoulder breakout or breakdown technically, since it's a topping pattern. So if it goes to try to form back down and then breaks out again over the shoulder, then it's going to have a crazy rip. So Tozy, I want you to write this down on your chart. If this does something like this and then comes up and breaks this level again after it comes down, if it comes down, or it could keep going now, this level would be a right shoulder failure, which means you're going to take the head, and if you scroll out long enough, there's not really anything that happens. So it would take the head and then probably run to right here. So if you get that right shoulder failure where it tries to go lower and doesn't, comes back up and breaks that, it would go higher. And now we have ads. For those of you on okay, good. For those of you on Twitter or X, which I'll never fucking call it X, all good for the subs. All right, that subscribers don't have it. That should be a pretty easy play. So, like, if it actually rejects here, comes back down, breaks it again, you would see a run from 39 cents to $1.12 pretty easily. So that would be pretty good. Silver Sir, first time checking out Juno chart this year, meaning like we're 345 days into the fucking year, and you're just looking at it now? Well, let's pull it up then. Juno token. Fuck it, it's not. Oh, wait, let me know when you guys are back. What's funny is, like, I legitimately was sitting here and it was giving me a countdown. It said that it says you guys are back now. Let me know when you're back. But it was giving me a countdown for like when the ads were going to be, and I wanted to be like, it was like, 30, 29, 28. And I very badly wanted to be like, if you only hear one thing from me this entire year, then, and I wanted it to go to commercial. I was totally going to fuck with you guys, and I got caught off my FTM charting. But so it goes. All right, welcome back. Avi, what's up? Yeah, so Juno looks good. I mean, like, the reason why I like Juno, like no cap, the reason why I like where Juno is right now is that if you look on TradingView at the aggregated volume, people were max selling the lows, like just max selling the lows. People are fucking idiots selling thousands of Juno for like $8. Okay. So like that all changed hands. You're getting a new high here. We want to see it close high again. And quite frankly, like I said this to my friends who I shilled into Juno that now hate me. So like, I put 20 G's into Juno. It's now worth $46. I think it very easily goes to $1. Whether or not it proceeds past $1, I don't know what to tell you. But I think that it very easily goes to $1. That would be almost 10x off the lows. It's the place on the chart that makes the most sense for it to like have people be like, ah, fuck, I'll sell into it. So I think Juno goes higher. All right, what I missed still? Next in Huahua. Next. Oh yeah, Connect. Is this an Allen show? Holy shit. Fuck me. Fuck me. I had a lot of this and I sold it. For profit. So that's been doing well. Okay. Huahua. I mentioned this the other day in the chat. Jesus Christ. I mentioned this the other day in the chat that like I don't understand why people fuck with Huahua at all, because they essentially just like declared war on validators. And we're like, well, you should validate with us, and then we'll give you more tokens, which is why I didn't get that many tokens, because I was validating with my boy Highlander. And they're like, all right, here's 500,000 Huahua. If you were staking with us though, here's 50 million, and here's all those people dumping on them. Pretty neat. Yeah, all right, nothing wrong with this. I remember Tom from the Nerds literally being like, he would only talk about Arai here. And I was like, dude, calm down. He's like, it's going to rip. And then it did. And then it came all the way back down. But yeah, is it a part of Cosmos now? Good. Good for them. Chart looks all right. I don't know. I mean, I know it's an AI play, but I don't really know what it is. OmniFlix. Hey, for those of you fucking people who are still involved in Cosmos, when there's like super big airdrops like Celestia, can you message me, please? I had some shit going on. Not sure if I told you guys personally. I had some stuff going on. I missed it. It was on me. You guys told me. Yeah, that's actually a pretty strong chart. Like, what's the reason to own Flix, though? Thank you. Getting closer, man. Building on Solana. App is being fully designed as we speak and built. Trade on Levana perps and qualify for their token. All right. There we go. You got some alpha today. Get on Levana. Trade their perps. Just wash trade shit, you know. Trade from Osmo to Juno to ETH to USDC. Back and forth. Spend some money on transaction fees. Try to accumulate as much volume as you can. And Jesus, Mary and Joseph. What? Hey, look at that. Look at number 8. I mean, look at this, though. Cosmos, 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 Cosmos. Like, yeah, it's the end, boys. I would stable. I'm going to the meetup in London on Friday for Kuji. Sweet. That's badass, dude. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Look, Adam got above the 50, which is wonderful. It's what we want. Dude, it is 1,000 degrees in my office. Oh, my God. I should turn my fan on more. Yeah, I mean, hopefully it gets a run to the high side of the zone here, but it's just still lagging tremendously bad. Like, it's just horrendous. Speaking of horrendously lagging, Ethereum. And this is the alpha chart I share with you guys, but nobody ever listens. It looks pretty good. You got a high side breakout, but it's the same concept, right? If you surrender the channel back in, you're going to test the low side. So I'm going to get off here because I got to go. I got to get a few things done. Then I got to get my son from school, but that might be true. But I think it's also probably actually true. Don't you? Because like everybody's been talking about how Cosmos is just insane today. Anyway, here's what I want you to think about. This very much looks like it could surrender the channel. This here looks like it very much could surrender the channel. And it's going to happen in the next like 4, 5, 7 days. So keep an eye out, because if it surrenders the channel breakout, it's going to test the other side. I don't make the rules. If it surrenders back down into this channel, it's going to test the other side of the channel. I'll say this, none of you will remember it. And they'll be like, why don't you tell us, dude? I have. I told you now. Someone clip this shit. If you surrender the channel, you're going to test the other side. So please, keep an eye out. I'm not going to tell you to trade. I'm not going to log out and post something, stable, go to cash. You got to do your own thing. Otherwise, it'll just be like, doing everything for you. Be like puppeteer. So, I give you the signals. You got to do what you got to do. Thanks, Creed. Noted this shit on the chart. Good. Glad. Golfing. Being built now. I got some early screen grabs from the dev team. It's pretty nasty. Hoping 6 weeks. 6-8 weeks. You know how it should go. That says 6 weeks. It'll be 3 months. But, trending well. All right, let me get out of here. If you have anything in the last 90 seconds, I will take questions for 90 more seconds. With the best outro in crypto streaming.
3, 2, 1.
Word.
Tau exposure? Oh, fuck you. That's my Tau exposure. I mean, look how long ago I had lines. Just down horrendously. Thank you. You'll hear more about it. Nobody could have ever known. Yeah, except for my buddy who was shilling me at $16 when it was down here, 20. He was like, you got to get in, now it's time. And I'm like, whatever, dude. Bear market. This thing sucks. Whoops. Take care, guys. Talk soon.